Hello, everyone, dear viewers of the channel. I am Helena, the Guardian of Secrets, a researcher of mystical phenomena, and here with me is Vadim, a historian interested in folk culture. Today, Vadim, I want us to delve into the very essence of what makes Ukrainian culture so rich and vibrant, the fantastic mystical stories, those grandmother's tales that have shaped generations. For me, these aren't just stories, they are the very soul of our nation, a living archive of wisdom and wonder.
And Helena, I'm certainly interested in exploring them, not just as nostalgic recollections, but as crucial historical and psychological artifacts. However, my primary interest lies in distinguishing the truth embedded within these narratives from the purely fantastical elements. What lessons, what cultural imperatives did these tales truly impart?
But sometimes the fantastical is the truth. Take the Domovyk, our beloved house spirit. My grandmother always insisted we leave a small bowl of milk or a piece of bread for him, especially when moving to a new home. She'd say, "Don't anger the house spirit, or he'll hide your keys, spoil your milk, or worse, lead misfortune to our door." It wasn't just superstition, it was a deeply felt reverence for the spirit of the home.
That's a perfect example. From a sociological viewpoint, the Domovyk likely served as a powerful regulatory mechanism for household order. If keys were lost or milk spoiled, attributing it to a mischievous spirit encouraged people to be more careful, tidy, and respectful of their living space. The offerings could be seen as a ritualized acknowledgement of the effort required to maintain a home, fostering a collective sense of responsibility.
But what about the stories of the Domovyk actively protecting the family? My grandmother once recounted how, during a severe storm, she heard frantic banging and whistling that woke her, just as a tree branch crashed through the roof where my grandfather usually slept. She was convinced the Domovyk had saved him, that it was a clear sign of his watchful presence. How does logic explain such a profound, life-saving intervention, Vadim?
That's a powerful personal testimony, Helena. It could be a confluence of factors: the heightened state of alertness during a storm, the natural sounds of the house creaking and settling, perhaps amplified by wind, and the human mind's innate need to find agency and meaning in chaotic events. The belief in a protective entity would certainly provide immense psychological comfort and a framework for understanding an otherwise random, terrifying incident. It's the mind seeking to create order from chaos, attributing intention where there might be none.
And yet, the belief itself is a truth. The comfort, the sense of security, the very act of leaving that offering, these are real actions born from a deeply held conviction. Losing these stories, I believe, means losing a part of our ancestral toolkit for navigating the world, for feeling connected to something larger than ourselves. These were not just fairy tales, they were coping mechanisms, spiritual anchors.
I fully agree, they are vital anchors. The psychological function of these myths is undeniable. They provided a moral compass, social cohesion, and a sense of continuity. Whether the Domovyk literally swept the floors is secondary to the fact that the story of the Domovyk encouraged cleanliness and diligence.
Exactly. It's the interwoven fabric of practical advice and mystical belief. The threads are inseparable.
If you're as fascinated by these layers of truth and fantasy as we are, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue sharing these incredible insights.
Let's consider protective rituals, like the symbolism woven into a rushnik, an embroidered towel. Grandmothers would meticulously sew specific patterns, believing they warded off the evil eye, ensured fertility, or brought good fortune. And they did. My grandmother swore by the power of her embroidered towels. She'd say the oak leaves gave strength, the kalina berries brought beauty and prosperity, and the zigzags guarded against misfortune. There was an intention, an energy woven into every stitch. She'd use specific threads, blessed by special words. You could feel the protection emanating from them.
From a historical perspective, these patterns are indeed incredibly rich in ancient symbolism, often predating Christianity. The oak, kalina, and geometric patterns are deeply rooted in pagan agricultural beliefs, representing natural forces, fertility, and protection. The act of meticulous embroidery itself, the focus and intention, serves as a meditative, almost ritualistic practice. It's an embodiment of hope and intention, a tangible representation of a desire for protection and good fortune. While I wouldn't attribute magical energy to the threads themselves, the psychological power of creating and using such an object, imbued with generations of belief, is immense. It provides comfort, a sense of control, and a strong connection to one's heritage.
What isn't that psychological power a ford of energy? The belief itself generating an effect. It's not just a pretty pattern, it's a shield, a prayer made manifest. It reminds us that our ancestors imbued meaning into every aspect of their lives, and that meaning had real consequences.
Indeed, the placebo effect is a well-documented phenomenon. If you believe something protects you, your mind and body respond accordingly. The truth in this case might be that the power isn't in the physical object, but in the human mind's capacity for belief and intention.
So the truth is a dual one, a cultural framework that encouraged practical virtues and a deep, almost spiritual connection to the unseen forces that people believed governed their lives.
Precisely. These grandmothers' tales are a testament to human ingenuity in making sense of the world, comforting the distressed, and passing on invaluable cultural wisdom, whether through literal magic or profound symbolism. They are both fantasy and an undeniable, essential truth of our heritage.
We invite you to share your cherished grandmother's tales in the comments below. Let's keep these stories alive together.
And remind ourselves that even in our modern world, the echoes of these ancient beliefs continue to resonate, offering us strength and connection.
Keeping the soul of Ukraine vibrant and eternal.